I should call your mom more often. I should text her more often. All right, so so mean value theorem. We're gonna start. Like I said, this is probably easiest part of the calculus. I think a lot of things that, but please do not just say, oh, because it's easy. You tended to have complacency, because this is the way you have to focus on. If it's easy on the test, you should say, okay, I need to do way better on this test. So don't have a complacency. But I'm gonna go over all the questions and I'll show you all the things, and you guys get to start with homework because I know you have homecoming. You don't have any homework over the weekend. So I will finish as fast as I can to help you. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna start with the review sheet, the Rolles theorem. Rolles theorem, the first one is C. Everybody understands C, right? Okay, because A is FA does not equal to FB. And the last one is not continuous. The second one is graph 2 and 3. One is not continuous, one's not differentiable. The only one makes sense is graph 1. So which one's not satisfied, which is 2 and 3. However, this is a question that everybody mess up on this question. What do you guys think the answer is? How many people think is A? How many people think it's B? Okay, the answer is A. The reason why, okay, so the reason being is that you have to read a fine print. Those people got it right. You are much better reader than anybody else because you are a good avid reader. Because when you look at things like this, when you look at things like this, you are gonna have to pay attention to all the details that you can think of. So they say f of A equal to FB. Then Bennett, put your computer. FA equal to F of B. That's just the third condition. But they also have said F is continuous is the first condition. They're missing the second condition because they never say it's differentiable. Those are the people that have to be read. So a lot of questions like what is not, like, you know, a lot of people pick, for example, you do the last one and you say, oh yeah, well the answer A is fits Rolles theorem, but they say what is not. So what is must be true. Those are the questions you have to be very, very cautious. Whenever you have question like that, or picking which correct statement, you must be very cautious and read. You cannot just like skip, jump to the conclusion. And like my son does this all the time, and I really like kick him because like he doesn't read. I was like, idiot, read, please. That's what I usually do. But I cannot do it to you. I probably do worse. So A, they say f prime x may not exist for some x such as A and B. That's true because it may not. It's more inclusive, right? It may be differentiable, but it may not because it never say whole thing is differentiable. That's the thing. 2, B, there is at least one point of C, A to C to B such that f prime C is equal to 0. Hey, that's Rolles theorem, but it turns out never qualify for Rolles theorem. That's why everybody picked B, because you think that's Rolles theorem, but it's not because it didn't qualify for it. Now you have to understand, listen to this though. Those things are going to differentiate a student who scored 4 and 5. Those conceptual questions, because everybody hates them. Everybody hates them. So if you want to do very good at it, you have to understand why other choices are not the answers. Somebody get the door. Why they are not? Well, f prime of x is equal to 0 for all x such that A to x to B. What does that mean? C, what does that look like? Just a straight horizontal line. Those of you guys are very visual, like Rylan, and Eli, very visual. It goes like this, a straight line. Yes, that's what you need to see. Is that true? No, they never say that the whole function is going to be a straight line. D is even worse. It's not only in the straight line, but on the x-axis. E, f prime of x is this. That's just kind of saying that's not necessarily true. It may be true, but it's not necessarily 100% true because they never say it's differentiable, the whole function. So therefore, E is not the right choice. A is the correct choice. A lot of people need to understand that small details. Giving f of x equal to 2x cubed minus 10x, defined on a closed interval 0 to square root 5. This one, the answer is C. Did you get C? You must rationalize. If you didn't get the C, you must rationalize. So it just simple math. The reason why AP exam, all the answer choices is rationalize. If you have radical on bottom, rationalize it. 6, it kind of 5. 5, I'm gonna take a derivative. This one's pretty cool. I'm just gonna do it for you. This one is gonna be hold on a second. I'm gonna go back to the thing. For this one, I'm gonna take a derivative, set it equal to 0, and I'm gonna cross multiply, and then x is equal to 1. There's a work here. Did you guys get that? Okay, 6. The answer is E. But you're gonna say, hey, Mr. G, I don't know mean value theorem. You don't have to. You just have to know Rolles value theorem does not apply here because it's missing f of b equal to f of a. So Rolles value is one of the answer choices, is not satisfied, but the only one in combination with 2 is what? There's no 2 and 1, so therefore it has to be 2 only, right? So the logic choice is just logic here. You just learn how to think. There was no 2 and 1, so your answer is E. 7, a lot of people didn't know how to do that. Take a derivative, set it equal to 0. This case, you cannot factor anything out, so you move the sine x to the other side. Usually, I never recommend that, but you divide it by cosine on both sides. You didn't actually get rid of the answer. You actually help you find the answer because 10 of x is equal to 1, x is equal to 5 over 4. Another way to solve equations, 8, x equal to 0, 9 is square root 21 over 3. Okay? Rationalize. Huh? Two answer for A? Hold on a second, let me make sure. Denominator, but that's endpoint. Endpoint's not differentiable.
21.
Can I explain 8? Sure.
Oh, shit. Yeah. We could get 21 though. You change.
If you take a derivative of this, hold on. If you take a derivative of this, that's going to give you 1/2 9 minus x squared to the negative 1/2 times negative 2x. You set negative 2x equal to 0. You do not set the bottom equal to 0 because bottom equal to 0 is undefined. But Rolles theorem did not say undefined. Critical number does. If I today ask a critical number, you set the bottom equal to 0. However, even if its endpoint is true, it should not including endpoint because that's what Rolles value theorem says. A denominator, we don't set denominator equal to 0 because that denominator equal to 0 means f prime of x is undefined rather than 0. Because when bottom equal to 0 is undefined. Numerator equal to 0 is the function is equal to 0. Bottom equal to 0 is that function is undefined rather than 0. Yes, Brandon?
Can you explain why you can't?
What?
Why would 2 not work? Like if it's even though it's in the bracket.
2, how's 2 works?
Yeah. But it's included.
Oh, this one, you say this one's a plus minus? Yeah, plus minus work. Oh wait, does that work? Square root 21 is what? Is that less than
Yeah.
less than 6?
Why would it be less than 6?
Less than 2?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay, then do both of them count.
You say about the bracket? Yeah.
You cannot be an endpoint. If it's an endpoint, you have to get rid of that because the endpoint is not differentiable. So your C cannot be part of the endpoint. It work on mean value theorem again.
Yeah. You have to be different. Because when there's a yeah. Well, the C does the other part for it. So it equals out here. It's just an ending line. It's it only keeps one line. And the derivative has another slope. So even if it's brackets.
Okay. Now, AP exam love theorems, and you don't have to understand math to do theorems. You just have to understand what this theorem is asking for. For me, I love theorems because those are the questions that if even you're bad at math, you can figure out the answers. You just have to be a very good reader. So make sure that you know that. So today I'm gonna help you reviewing all the theorem. So first one is called intermediate value theorem. And you're gonna see that what do they have in common with? Yes, f must be continuous. Between A to B. The second condition is kind of weird. What is the second condition? Kind of like not the same as Rolles theorem. As FA does not equal to FB. The third thing is K must be between f of A and f of B, right? Okay, must be. So 1, 2, 3. The result is what? The result says, well, there's at least one C where f of C is equal to K. FC is equal to K.
Between F and F.
Yeah, the K value has to be between there. So let me show you the graph analyzation. The graph analyzation just basically says, hey, I have here is, sorry, let's say here is f of A, and here is f of B. And then since the function is continuous, this is a K in between. So it has to go through K, where C has to go to K, but the function has to be continuous. Now they have to have a different height, otherwise you don't have a K in between. So that's kind of like a very intuitive understanding. And you're gonna see there's some type of relationship one theorem to the other theorem. They start with building a very small, easy theorem, and this is one of the easy theorem. So that's the first one. And the second theorem that we talk about is the extreme value theorem. So one, f of x must be continuous. That's it. The easiest one. If it's the continuous, that just say if it's continuous, you can have a couple situations. I'll just give you the easiest situation. That just say A and B. A and B. There must be a maximum and minimum, right? So must have maximum and the minimum. And this is the result, right? Yes. You can have all the points as a maximum minimum. It can be all point. You can be maximum minimum same time if you a straight line. That's a very rare condition. But yeah. Extreme value theorem. Does that understandable? Now let's look at yesterday's. Yesterday says the Rolles value theorem. And the reason why I told you rule is easy to remember is the O on the rule. There's O there, that means f prime of x equal to 0. The Rolles value theorem says, hey, the first conditions f must be continuous between A to B. 2, f must be differentiable between A to B. 3, f of A must equal to f of B because you want to have the same height. So situation like this, you have the same height. This is A, this is a B, this is A, this is B, and this is gonna be can be like this, so that the slope of this or f prime of x is equal to 0, and I here does 2, I here does 2, and that's easy. But Michael rules is it's okay, he's all right. But if somebody after him kind of cheated out of him, he's like, well, I'm gonna take yours and make it look better, right? Now his name is Lagrange. The mean value theorem is established by this mathematician called Lagrange. Lagrange theorem, which is also known as the mean value theorem, and this is what everybody go by. Nobody ever give him a name because I don't know. I think he just kind of like modify a little bit. And if you have a 2 dot on a piece of paper, if you just tilt the paper a little bit, that 2 dots is no longer the same height, right? Think about it. If I have 2 dots, right? Today, if I have that, just say if I create a 2 dots on a paper that is height each other, right? If I just click it a little bit, FA does not equal to FB. Now I just use that using same logic. I can say, well, F must be continuous. You can imagine that. So you must follow in all those conditions, A, B. 2, F must be differentiable. Oh, I'm sorry. This one I forgot to write down the result. The result is there is a value, at least one value C, one value of C in interval A, B, not including the endpoint, where f prime of C is equal to 0. 3. Yeah, that's our parenthesis. So the last one is the result. The result says f, there is at least one value of c in interval a, b, not including endpoint. I'm going to say that again, not including endpoint, where f prime of c is equal to f of b minus f of a over b minus a. And you're going to look at this, you say, oh, what does that mean? Right? So let's create this graph on this point. And this part of the graph is going to be like this. So this graph is going to be, hold on, let me get one more. So the slope between those two dots is what? What's the slope between those two dots? Just by looking at it, can you tell me slope between those two dots? One-fourth. Good. So you can figure out the slope of those 2 points, right? How do you figure out the slope of this line? F of b minus f of a over b minus a. This is the red line. But this is not a function because a function actually looks like this. Instead of the other 1, 2 line are exactly the same, now you have some point here. You say, okay, the blue line, the slope of blue line is going to be f prime of c. Now there's somewhere in along this graph that you're going to have exact same slope of that. Imagine like right about this point right here. And if you draw a tangent line from this point, and it's almost same as a red line. And around right here, the tangent line is a red line. So can mean value theorem can completely replace Rolles value theorem? The answer is yes. Because it kept 2 dot, the slope is 0, right? Now this is 2 dot, now it's slope at some type of value. It just means sometime you had to go through the exact same slope. So let's write it down. So there's at least one c, but not including endpoint again, is equal to fb minus fa over b minus a. The c has to be within a and b, not including endpoint, not including endpoints. Now, with that being said, this is also known as a tangent line slope. This is the secant line slope. Why slope is 2 point? It's 2 point on the graph because that function is just going to go like this, right? The function is like maybe something like this. This is f of x, and tangent line is equal to secant line. That's the way I remember the mean value theorem. Another way, it can be make it a little bit more sense, is to think of it in terms of velocity. Think of velocity. Which 2 kind of velocity do you know of? What is it? Speak it up. Which 2 type of velocity you learned before? What? Well, that's not what I'm looking for, but it's good start. What? Start with the I. Instantaneous. Who says instantaneous? If you don't know, you gotta speak it up. You're very smart, but don't be like shy. I have no idea how to spell instantaneous. Some people need to know how to tell me how to spell instantaneous.
A N T A
A-N.
E O U S.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I'd rather trust brown person. Cadian. That's right. Okay.
What?
Because all the brown people win the spelling bee.
Oh, yeah, that's not how it's rated.
There's no white person ever wins spelling bee for the last 10 years. Go look it up. Go look it up right now. No, we're talking about national spelling bee. All purely brown people. Everybody from India. It's not stereotypical, it's true. Cadian knows it's true.
It's not very public.
It's not racism, no. It's a fact.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up.
You look it up. I'm telling you. It's all brown, right?
Oh my god, it's so right.
Average velocity. So instantaneous velocity equal to average velocity. Think about it. I'm not lying to you. There's a white person.
She looks white. I don't know. Maybe. You found one.
You find one out of like 20.
Oh, I clicked on the website and it's brown.
It's just a very pale brown guy.
There was 8 winners, and out of 8,
Look at their names.
one of them was white. The rest are 100%.
That meant nobody named like Bennett Gordon.
The rest are 100%.
Yeah. All right. Instantaneous velocity. Think about if you drive to Gainesville. How long take you to drive to Gainesville? About 2 hours, right? Okay. Well, I'm gonna say 2 hours. And how many miles between here to Gainesville? Let's say it's 100 miles. Okay. So the average velocity is what? What's the average velocity? It's gonna be 100 mile over 2, so it'll be 50 mile per hour. So are you constantly driving 50 mile per hour when you go to Gainesville? No. Some I-75, you're gonna drive 70 mile per hour. On Conroy, you're gonna drive 30 to 40 to 50, and that's when you get pulled over. Okay. So you think about it. Sometimes you're gonna drive above, sometimes you're gonna drive below, but the average is gonna be there. But the whole time you're gonna go through the average speed. You're gonna go down, and you might come back down to see the next red light. You might go down the ramp of the turnpike. It's slowing down, and you come back up to past that average speed again. So that must be true because the car doesn't just disappear, right? I mean, I'm talking about non-continuous. Just like drive halfway, just disappear, and then show up in Gainesville. That doesn't really work that way. Yes.
Even though you're going above and below 50, you're still hitting 50 at one point.
A few points, not only 1 point. You got, yeah, a few points. All right, let's show you how to do one question. How much time I have? 13 minutes. I have a lot of time. Now this question, I'm gonna ask you to try it. So we got have f of x. Now we just give you a simple question: 5 minus 4 over x between 1 and 4. Can you find the value C where mean value theorem apply? Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna find the tangent. How do we find tangent? Take a derivative. Good. What's derivative 5? What's derivative of negative 4 over x? You have to rewrite like this, right? 4 over x squared. Good. Now you have to do f of b minus f of a over b minus a. A lot of people on second period, I wish they can watch this part of the video. I'm gonna tell them to watch this part of the video. Make sure they don't set it equal to 0. They set it equal to the secant slope. So in this case, it's gonna be f of 4 minus f of 1 over 4 minus 1, right? So f of 4 is gonna be 1, I think. No,
Yes. No.
4. If you plug in 1, yeah, if you plug in original,
Yeah, the other one.
that's 1 over 4 minus 1. That's equal to 1. So I'm going to set this equal to 1. Not equal to 0. A lot of people thought it's equal to 0, but it's equal to 1 because you want the slope of that line. 4 equal to x squared. If you cross multiply, x equal to plus minus 2. But only one of them within this interval, so c must be 2. And that's the only time that you have exactly same slope. Is that okay?
Put 1 in again.
Because you want to find out the secant slopes. The secant slope is f of b minus f of a over b minus a. But it's not supposed to equal to 0. Equal to 0 is a horizontal tangent. It's the Rolles value theorem. Huh? Yeah, tangent is equal to secant. So this is the tangent. This is a secant. So you set them equal to each other, solve for it. Guys, I'm gonna need 1 more minute to focus. Give me a second. So look at this. Look at this point, right? Look at this tangent line. This is how your tangent line is gonna flow throughout the intervals. But how many C value do you think there is? How many C value? How many do you guys think? How many C value you think is equal to this blue line? Fiona, what do you think? 2. Armin, what do you think? You're not sure. Eli. 3. Misha. 3. Nizar. How many do you think? 3? Okay, let's count them. We're gonna count them. My hand's kind of shaky, so this is what? No, not just every minimum. It's not exactly at a minimum. But I'm gonna see that that line is gonna turn. Do you see that turn to green?
Yeah.
It was red, it turned to green. So that means those two lines not gonna intersect. Do you see that? So that's 1. That's 2. Right? It turned to green. Three. So 1, 2, 3. Can I go to the second one? Sure. It's not gonna be exactly accurate because it seems like no, it because there's a small fine value, so I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. You can see a little bit better. See? Because they have a range of value, but it's only one specific point. So 3. Yes, Fiona? No, it's not changing concavity. You gotta see the tangents floating. You gotta see the tangents moving until you got 1 point. See, it's not at a maximum either. So if you pay attention, it's not at a maximum. Right? It's not a maximum. So it's not a maximum. It's really close to the maximum when you slope exactly that secant line. Got it?
Yeah.
All right, you guys start with homework.
It's within. There's 3 relative expressions. It's like it's whenever it's relative. Because whenever it's like curved, there's gonna be a point where that's when you say relative maximum, yeah, but wherever the Dude, oh my god.
I laugh every single time.
You know, you're posting next to me. I'm gonna be watching all the videos. If I miss like I'm gonna have to test that.